Yay, word problems! So here's a video on how to set up a word problem and solve it. The first thing we're going to do is read the problem. The second thing is we're going to box some numbers. We're going to underline my question, and then we can assign some variables, write an equation, and then solve. So in the first one, you are visiting Washington, D.C., and a taxing company charges a fee of $3 for using the taxi and an additional $0.75 per mile. The total cost for the taxi was $15. How many miles did you travel? So let me box some numbers. You're going to box a fee of $3. 0.75 per mile. Additional means you're going to add that onto it. Total cost for the taxi was $15. And then underline the question, how many miles did you travel? So I need to assign a variable that answers how many miles. So I'm going to use M to represent miles. Okay? Some keywords in that problem. Notice here we see mile and then per, which means that 0.75 or 75 cents is going to be next to your variable. So you're going to have 0.75 M. On the equal sign, on the other side, you're typically going to have a total. So since the total cost for the taxi was 15, I'm going to put 15 on that side of the equal sign. And then now you just need to figure out what to do with this fee of $3. And so it was like a one-time fee that you only had to pay once, so that's added onto the additional miles. Okay? So now that you've set up your equation, all that's left to do is to solve it. So it's a normal two-step problem where you're going to subtract 3 on both sides. Bring down 0.75 M equals 12. Divide by 0.75. And then M is going to equal 16. Okay? The last thing we need to do is write a sentence about this problem because M equals 16 is not enough. So our problem was talking about a taxi traveling, so a good sentence would be the taxi drove 16 miles. Okay? So that taxi drove 16 miles, and then we're done. All right? So why don't you try number 2 on your own, press pause, and annotate that problem by boxing and underlining, and then write it, and then go ahead and solve it, and then see if you get what I got. So pause right now. All right, you should have boxed 89 cents per taco. Keyword there is per. $3 off coupon. How many tacos is our question? And there is our total of $14.57. So T is going to represent the tacos. So your equation should have been 0.89. T, 14.57 was your total. Now you should have had plus 3, and if you put minus 3, here's why. If you have that coupon in your pocket, you have an extra $3, so that's why it's going to be plus 3. Because in the long run, you do want that coupon subtracted, but you don't want to take it away from what you have. So you'd get 0.89. T equals 11.57, and then divide by 0.89. So T should equal, I think it's 13. 13. Okay, so a good sentence for that is you purchased 13 tacos. Okay. All right, number 3 is kind of a multi-step problem. So let's read it first. You and Drake are starving and go to Kroger. Drake brought 3 bags of Hot Cheetos, $5 worth of Reese's, and 5 more bags of Hot Cheetos. You bought 2 bags of Hot Cheetos, $5 worth of Skittles, $6 worth of Mountain Dew, and then 3 more bags of Hot Cheetos. If you paid the same amount, how much was each bag of Cheetos? So notice we don't have a total like in our previous problems. I've got two scenarios. I have Drake and then I have you, and you're buying food from Kroger. So what you need to do in this case, first you need to box your numbers. So 3 bags of Cheetos, $5 of Reese's, 5 more bags, 2 bags of Cheetos, $5 of Skittles, $6 of Mountain Dew, 3 more bags. Okay, question is, how much was each bag of Cheetos? So I only care about the Cheetos. So I'm going to say C is Cheetos. And now I need to set up 2 scenarios. This is going to be a variables on both sides. So you have Drake on that side of the equation, and we can put you on the right side of the equation. So let's start back up here. So Drake has 3 bags of hot Cheetos. So we're going to say 3 Cheetos for Drake. Keep reading. $5 worth of Reese's. So he just spent $5. And then 5 more bags of hot Cheetos. So 5C. And so that's what Drake bought. You are going to buy 2 bags of hot Cheetos. So 2C. $5 worth of Skittles. $6 worth of Mountain Dew. And then 3 more bags of hot Cheetos. So now I know we paid the same amount, and that's why they're equal to each other. And so now we can solve for C and figure out how much the Cheetos costs. So combine like terms first and get 8C plus 5 on the left side, and get 5C plus 11 on your right side. With variables on both sides, I like to move all my variables to the left. So I'm going to minus 5C on both sides. 3C plus 5 equals 11. Subtract 5 on both sides, and you should get 3C equals 6. Divide by 3, and so C is going to equal 2. So a sentence about that problem, C means Cheetos. My question was, how much was each bag of Cheetos? So a good sentence would be, each bag of Cheetos costs $2. Write that down there. Okay? So make sure after you solve each problem, you give me one sentence that explains what that number means in the context of the problem. Okay? Why don't you try number 4 on your own and press pause. Alright, you should have gotten, the question was how long. So in this case, M is going to be minutes, because it says every minute you get 3 pieces of candy. So you should have said 3M plus your original 5 equals 215. And then once you solve that problem, you should have got 70. And then so what that means is you spent 70 minutes trick-or-treating. So if you do not understand that, please raise your hand, and I can come help you out with setting it up or anything. On the back, y'all can try number 5 and number 6 on your own, and then I will go over the answer in a second. So press pause and try 5 and 6. So here's my work for number 5 and 6. So on 5, you should have said H was hours because they wanted to ask how long, and they were going by hours. 350 goes next to your H. That 650 was a one-time fee. Total was 170. I subtracted 65 on sides and divided by 35 and got 3. So a good sentence would be, he spent 3 hours fixing the problem. On number 6, cost $29 plus is a keyword, so I added an additional $2 for each guest. So I said G was meaning guests. Total was $71. The question was, what was the maximum number of guests? I solved it. I got G was 21, so that means Ms. Callahan can afford to invite 21 guests. Okay, 2 more problems. Let me walk you through both of these. Fulton High School is playing Maryville High School this Saturday. The tickets for the game are $7. Per person, parking is $5 because Fulton doesn't have that many spots. Drink and a slice of pizza costs $3 per person. How many people went to the football game if you spent a total of $45? So let's box some numbers. 7 per person, costing $5. 3 per person. How many people is our question? Total of 45. So I'm going to say P is going to mean people. I know we spent a total of $45. So now need to figure out which numbers go with the people. So $7 a person, so 7P. Parking was just $5, so I'm going to just leave that there. And then $3 per person for pizza. And then there's my equation. I'm going to combine like terms and get 10P plus 5 equals 45. Subtract 5 on both sides. I'm going to write it over here. 10P equals 40. Divide by 10. So P is going to equal 4. So what that means in that problem is 4 people went to the game if you spent $45. So 4 people went to the game. All right. Last problem. China, who desperately needs a phone, is choosing between 2 cell phone plans that offer the same amount of texting. AT&T, this plan charges $39.99 a month, with additional texting costing 45 cents. Verizon's plan is $49.99 with additional texting at 40 cents. So how many texts or additional texts T will it take for the 2 plans to cost the same? So notice again, I don't have a total. I'm dealing with 2 different scenarios. And then they gave me my variable. So T is going to mean texts. So I've got AT&T on one side. And then I have Verizon on another side. So this means I'm going to have a variables on both side problem. So let me come up with AT&T's equation. So they had $39 per month, and then texting was 45. So the key word is usually when you see per, that's next to the variable, but in this case, since our variable stands for T in text, then that .45 needs to go next to the text. So that $39.99 is just out front plus that 45 cents per text. Okay, so same thing for Verizon. That $49.99 is out front plus the .40 for the text. So now variables on both sides problem. I'm going to subtract .4 on both sides. So this will give us 0.05 T, bring down $49.99, bring down $39.99, and subtract. So 0.05 T is going to equal 10. Divide by 0.05, and you should get 200. So what does that 200 mean in the problem? My problem was how many additional texts will it take them to cost the same? So we can say the 2 plans will cost the same after 200 additional text messages. All right. So those are some examples of word problems. We did 2 steps, we did variables on both sides, multi-step. So those are some strategies you can use to solve word problems. For some practice, you can do J9 on IXL, solving linear equation word problems. And you can also go ahead and do J12 to get a mixed review of everything. So thanks for listening.